if you're watching this video, you want to know how to hit the ball farther. If you hit the ball farther, golf tends to be easier as long as you don't hit it offline. All right, so today we're going to talk about what your body needs to do in order to increase your club head speed, which will in turn help you hit the ball farther. It's going to be a little bit different than what you typically cover, or what I typically cover. I don't usually talk about distance a whole lot, all right? But I see a fault that a lot of us come across that suck distance out of us, most likely because we've seen things on TV and it just doesn't really correlate to club head speed. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're brand new to our channel, make sure you subscribe. If you like our content, give us a thumbs up. If you hit the bell button, you'll see our future videos. And once again, we try to post those every Tuesday and every Friday. And if you have any comments down below, please leave those. If this video helped you hit the ball farther, that's fantastic. That's kind of our goal today. So thanks for watching. How do we increase our club head speed? And that's really what we want to get out of today's video. So we're going to talk about for a few things that you have to have going on in order to do this. First, we're going to talk about hip depth in the backswing. All right, and then we're going to talk about rotational speed in the downswing. And then finally, just a little bit of what your left arm should be doing also in the downswing to help you increase that club head speed. So when it comes to hip depth, basically the definition is that your hips move deeper as you swing into the top of your backswing. So some of the faults that we come across, and this is going to suck you out of power, is I see people turn their belt buckle, and you can see that front hip kind of comes forward, hip socket comes up here. They're kind of turning, but most likely if you turn that way, you stand up, you lose your posture, and you're going to have a whole lot of issues trying to create power by losing that posture. And when that hip comes up there, you will tend to match it with this hip socket, so you're going to be closer to the ball. So you're standing up, you're losing your posture, and you're not going to create any speed because your body's too busy trying to figure out how to manage the club face than actually helping you create speed. So we need to know how to get deeper into our hips in the backswing. So you'll take your posture, you're going to pull your left foot back, and as you take it to the top, all right, you're going to feel yourself, maybe for the first time, actually turn into like your hip pocket, hip socket, whichever you want to kind of visualize it as. And then from there, you're just going to move your foot back. And then you will feel what it feels like to properly turn your hips and how to get your hips deeper. If you do it from face on, draw that foot back, take it to the top. You're going to see a crease right here in my pants. And then when I put my foot back, I still have that crease. If you turn your hips into that pocket, you're not going to slide anymore too. So not only does it help hip depth, but it helps you properly load your right side in your golf swing. All right, so that's a very simple drill that you can do to help you create hip depth when it comes into the golf swing. Let's test it, move it back, work on what that feels like. It might feel a little uncomfortable for a few of us because we've never been there, or your hips might be a little bit tighter, so it might be a little bit harder. All right, but if you are wondering, I don't look like I'm turning my hips when I do that. So if I just turn in my hip depth, right, you can see that my hips have turned. They are turning. They're just not doing anything weird in the golf swing, right? So that's the first thing we need to do is we need to know how to load our right side to help us hit the ball a little bit further because it's going to correlate to what we do in the downswing now. We know how to get hip depth now. The reason that is important is because most people are trying to fire their hips too quickly in the downswing, and that is going to lose all the power in your golf swing. The reason why that loses all the power in the golf swing, people will get it to the top with no hip depth, and then they turn really fast because they're trying to hit it really hard, and everything basically looks like it is stuck together. You can shallow it out that way, but you're not going to hit it anywhere. It's basically like trying to throw a ball by just doing that. You're not going to throw it very hard. Right? Any athletic sport, nothing is stuck together. Okay? There has to be freedom in it. And so the first thing I want you to do to help you hit the ball a little bit further is we're going to get that hip depth. And then you're going to feel like the right hip doesn't move forward. All right? The left shoulder doesn't move around. Everything is going to feel like it is super stuck behind you. Okay? We need it to feel like everything's closed for a long period of time, right? The reason is when everything is stuck together, we need our arms to basically explode off our chest, and then you can turn. As soon as it explodes, then you can turn into the golf ball and create all that power. Okay, so you have to feel like everything is deep, closed. We want those arms to explode off your chest. Okay, and that comes to the final part is the left arm. Okay, I've done previous videos where we know the left arm basically gets to move this much across your body. Right? I've done videos about the right arm should not move off of your body. Both of those go together with helping you create this basically release from your body. So we want to get to the top, and I want you to feel like you have lots of room. You can get that right arm or bicep in the right spot. Left arm, don't get it connected to your chest. If you only have to take it to here, you're better off than collapsing and getting it close to you. Okay, so when you get it to the top, we got that deep hips, we stay closed. And then when you come down, you're going to see them separate from everything here. Okay, I'll put some pros and you can see how it separates. And then they turn, and then they extend into it. Okay, one of the worst things you can do for power is even if you extend, but your hips and your body basically pull your arms close to you, you're not going to hit the ball very far at all. You can't create a whole lot of power by just trying to hit it like that. Okay, your body can only spin so fast or turn so fast to create speed. Right, this is the magic move in my book, in my opinion, that helps people create speed. I mean, you'll even see Rory. He'll turn, and it actually then he rebounds it off. Creates a ton of speed that way for not being the biggest guy in the world. So we want that hip depth. We want the body to stay close so the hands can separate away from us, and then we turn into it. Okay, so don't try to spin too hard. This will take time. If you have an impact bag, it works really good because you can work on just kind of keeping everything closed and firing your arms into it. All right, you can do it with cushions next to your couch. Hopefully you're single if you do that. If you're not, you will become single by doing that. If you're still watching this video, I don't know why I said that, but I'm going to leave it in there. Okay, so get all that nice separation, create all that speed that maybe you've been lacking. Don't try to turn too hard because it's just going to be a whole lot more effort than what it needs to be to help you hit it far. That's why we see like Ernie Els, Freddie Couples. Those guys hit it a mile and they don't look like they're working hard because they know how to separate their arms. They know the sequence that it needs to happen in order to hit the ball far.